Today we are going to discuss about OSI reference model. To have background about this OSI reference model, in 1977 and 78 we had different types of protocols, standards available across the countries and by the manufacturers, because of which we are not able to interconnect different devices or not having a global communication like what we have now as a internet. So they wanted to bring some standards so that we can have intercommunication successful. So all organizations jointly worked with ISO and brought in this OSI reference model, after which we are able to communicate and they are able to manufacture the devices, hardware devices and application programs in a standard manner, so that across the globe we are able to connect with the systems and interact and get the information shared. So we'll see all the 7 layers available in the OSI reference model. So OSI is Open System Interconnect, and it is splitting the communication system into 7 layers, and each layer performs their task and passes the data to the next layer. So each layer will be having the data in different format. We'll see that in individual layers. So layer 1 is a physical layer. This layer deals with the hardware of the network, where it is having the physical communication between the systems or the networks, and in the form of signals it will be transferring the data. Devices used are your cables, connectors, hubs, repeaters, and protocols mainly used is Ethernet 802.3 and the token ring protocol. Nowadays, we are also using the Wi-Fi protocol. Layer 2, from the first layer, the second layer is the data link layer. Here, we are adding the MAC address as a tag to existing data. So it is responsible for physical addressing, error correction, and preparing the information for media frames. The devices used are switches, bridges, wireless access points, and NICs. So it will be representing the data along with the MAC address. Layer 3, from layer 2 to layer 3, it is a network layer. The information is available as a packet. From frames, it is going as a packet now. It is responsible for logical addressing and routing. It is helping to reach the destination system via the IP addressing. So devices used are routers, layer 3 switches, firewalls. Network layer protocols used is ARP, IP, RIP, and IGRP. So from the network layer, the information is transferred to the transport layer. The IP header will be added with the data. It will be called as segments. So it is breaking the information into segments, and it is responsible for connection as well as connectionless communication. So once it is identifying the IP, it is going to the next step of transporting the data from one system to other system. The hardware devices used are proxy server, gateways, and firewalls, and protocols used are TCP and UTP. Next is the session layer. This is responsible for establishing and managing dominating user connections. So whenever we initiate a connection with a particular website or devices, it maintains a session, and it is monitoring the transactions through sessions only. So in a single system, we are opening up multiple applications or multiple browsers. So we are able to communicate properly with each browser, right? So that is because of establishing a session. Sometimes when you are accessing the banking websites, you get session timeout. It means that you are not getting the response from the destination system. So the session is automatically getting turned off for the security purpose. So that is for the banking website, but normally otherwise the source will be sending the information again to establish the connection. So those kind of sessions will be managed and maintained in this particular session layer. The protocols used are RTP, SIP, and NetBIOS protocols. Presentation layer. Here the information is available in the user understandable format, and encryption decryption is happening for security purpose, as well as you are having a compression and expansion also. So here the information is available in the user understandable format. The topmost layer is the application layer, where user is interacting with this application layer only, and then only the data gets into different shapes and format. So user will be using the kind of applications for communicating, say for example email or browser or telnet or ping. So That protocols will be used here for communication. Application and protocols will be used here for communication purpose. Here the overall summary of OSI reference layer, and we have mentioned PDU, how informations are represented in different layers and different types of protocol. This single table will help you to understand better for OSI reference model. So as I mentioned earlier, by referring the ISO OSI reference model, we got practical implementation of that, which is called as TCP/IP protocol stack. So it is set of protocols developed and used by variety of operating systems and devices. TCP stands for Transmission Control Protocol, and IP is Internet Protocol. Um, it is working in layer 3, whereas TCP is working in layer 4. So here it has only 4 layers instead of 7 layers of OSI reference model. It has reduced to 4 layers. So all this application layer, presentation layer, session layer, and OSI reference model is called as application layer over here. All these protocols working in application layer is mentioned here. So next is the host-to-host transport layer, internet layer, and network interface layer. So these are the 4 layers available in the TCP/IP model. Here the application layer protocols examples: FTP, Telnet, SMTP, HTTP. So it is define the rules when implementing the specific network applications. So it is visible to the users, and they are accessing the systems via the application. Transport layer, it is helping us to have communication between multiple networks. Two different protocols are used like TCP and UDP. Internet layer, here we use Internet Protocol, ARP protocol, ICMP protocol. So this defines the rules of how to find the routers for a packet to the destination, like source and destination connection, how we are tracking in the network. So this will be discussed and connected to the destination system. Network access layer, the examples are Ethernet, token ring, frame relay, ATM. So this is the network access layer in the TCP/IP model, and this is helping to transport the data from one system to other system. So this is the practical implementation of your OSI reference model, and we have other topics also in future, like we are going to discuss on topology and interconnecting devices. Please subscribe to this channel for further more videos. Thank you.